So hi there folks, welcome back to the dungeon, and today I'm revisiting I have two Yaesu FT-101s. There's one over there, that one's in pretty good condition. This one, the receiver is fantastic, the transmitter is working too hard, and I've discovered something new that I should have discovered a long time ago. And now I found it out, and it's definitely something that European users of Yaesus want to know. And that is that these radios, in the years that they arrived in Europe, especially this is a Sommerkamp version, which is just a rebranded Yaesu FT-101EE. Okay, this is called the 277EE, but it's a 101EE. Anyway, in the 70s, when these things arrived in Europe, the mains voltage was 220 volts. Since then, of course, Europe has changed its line voltage. So, here's my watt meter. 243 volts is coming in through the wall. So what does this mean? Well, I'll show you. Now, remember that the capacitors for the high voltage is where I can check my high voltage. Now, according to the schematic, this voltage should be 600 volts. So, with my VTVM going on the high side, look at that thing jump. There's nasty voltages there. So let's see what we have. And what do we see? 750 volts, not 600. 750. Now, I think that even my VTVM is there's a bit of margin for a meter error there. So if I was to come now with my digital meter, so now I'm going to do the same test and I'm just going to show you the voltmeter, because I can't hold the camera and take the voltage measurement at the same time. So there we go, we're on DC volts. Let's have a look with the DMM. 795 volts. Now that is of course way too high. The plate voltage should be 600 volts. But the reason for this is that the transformer is wired at the moment to be a 220 volt transformer instead of a 240 volt transformer. Alright? So what has to happen, I'll point with this guy over here, is that the jumpering on this portion of the transformer needs to be adjusted to work as a 234 volt transformer. That's the best we can do. So in the FT-101 manual, you will actually find instructions on how to wire up the transformer to do 234. In two places I need to make changes. Alright, this is the 220 volts, so the 0 there is fine, but I need to take that wire off and move it one up so it's on the 117, and then I need to take that wire off and move it one up so that it's on that 117, and then we're good to go. This is dangerous stuff going on over here. So allow enough time for those capacitors to discharge. You'll see there are resistors across the capacitors in order to bleed off that voltage when you turn off the radio. So now we're turning off, and I'm also removing the power plug, because in Europe, and especially if you're using the German system, which I have here, you can still have live power coming out of this thing. So you want to be sure that that power plug is fully removed and your power is off. You turn off the power at the front switch here as well. And now you can even monitor the discharge of your capacitor voltages. Now they're already come down to about 100 volts and steadily coming down. So those capacitor voltages have come down, and now I am pretty sure that I'm not going to get badly bitten when I work on my radio. So now I'm going to make the jumper ring. I'll take a quick shot of when I have the fuse holder out of the way so I can resolder the wires, and then we'll get on with the gig. So I'll be back. Just hold on. Alright folks, I'm back. And let me get my little pointer and I can show you what I've done. So this wire over here was initially soldered on at this point, 110 volt tapping. from the 0 volt tapping. So basically I've got two 117 volt transformers. Well, from 0, 100, 110, 117. So 2 times 117 is of course 134 volt tapping. So I've jumped that wire across and then started the fuse on the first 117 volt tapping. So now we should see a better voltage on my capacitors. So give me a sec and we'll set up and we'll have a look. Alright, so I've powered the radio on, and the first thing I notice is that its idle current in receive has gone down from about 50 watts to about 36. So already a huge improvement in the idle current. And now let's get a look at the DC voltage on the capacitors. So now we're down to 747 from 800 volts. So we've dropped 50 volts over there. I would really like to take a look at the AC voltage across the input. So measuring from the fuse going in to the bottom conductor. So down there to there. 246 volts. So that's correct. And it is going across the entire thing. So if I measure in the center, I should see half of that. What will that be? 123. There we go. So now I have set up my transformer correctly for modern European voltages. So if you are a European, or if you're living in a country where you do have a high line voltage sitting at around 230, 240 volts, then you do need to have a look inside your radio and do this modification. So now I'm going to close up. I didn't tighten up my fuse holder yet, but I just got it out of the way so it wasn't dangerous. I'm going to get that fuse holder then screwed up in place again. I had to loosen it just so I could get access, and then my radio at least will be a little better than before. So thanks for watching. I hope you found this useful, and stay safe when you work on these radios. They are very nasty with these high voltages. See you soon.